Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2026 Mazda CX-90. This is the Turbo S Premium Plus. It's finished off in a Deep Crystal Blue Mica, and the MSRP is just over $57,000. So we have a three-row SUV that has quite a lot to offer, and we'll start off with what this is powered by. Underneath the hood, you will find the high output 3.3 liter inline 6-cylinder turbocharged engine. This is paired to both the 48-volt mild hybrid system along with the 8-speed automatic. Pumps out 340 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. It'll do 0 to 60 in just over 6 seconds. And as far as fuel economy goes, you're looking at 23 in the city and 28 out on the highway. Now up front for this model, there's a lot of chrome for the entire exterior. You'll notice it matches nicely with the sensor for distance pacing, which you can see the Mazda logo there. There's a forward camera, all of the parking sensors, plenty of cutouts in this gloss black grille where there's also active grille shutters located behind that. You'll notice too the headlights and high beams, and then the turn signal and DRL is nicely integrated into that grille surround. There's cutouts on both sides of the bumper too, in the middle section down below, and then a few lines coming down the hood. Now this also has about 8 inches of ground clearance. So with the off-road mode, you can take this off the pavement with the all-wheel drive system and be able to go on some of those adventures. Now this has a two-tone design for the wheels, body colored fender arches, more chrome on the inline 6 badge. It's also on the lower side skirt where Mazda is stamped on that back section. This has power folding side mirrors with the camera and the turn signal, and then chrome for the window trim. It's on the roof racks, and there's a full moon roof up top. Now for a three-row SUV, it has a really nice styling to it for its overall length. Everything comes together nicely to this back point here, where there's a third brake light, wiper blade, LEDs for the lighting, backup camera and parking sensors, and this is equipped to tow up to 5,000 pounds. Now to gain access to your cargo space, you can use the key fob, the control underneath, or just kick your foot right in the middle. So if you have your hands full of groceries, this is a very easy way to gain access. Now with the third row up, you have a surprising amount of space. There is a spare tire underneath. You have a storage bin here where you can place some items. And the third row is manual. This is so much nicer than being automatic because you can put them up and down in a matter of seconds. You have some auxiliaries as well, and these do recline. So that way you can be nice and comfortable in that third row. You do have some physical buttons up top there as well if you need to use those. Now working our way to the interior, this is paired with the white interior, which is a great combo. There's also the manual sunshades, some wood trim accents, this neat fabric just above the armrest, Bose for the audio, and tons of storage down below. This also has the captain's chairs. So pull on this release here, and that's how you can slide the seat forwards and out of the way to gain access to the third row, where you could have 3 people back here if they are very small kids. At 5'10", I might be able to ride around. You get air vents, which is nice. There's cup holders and an auxiliary. I have less than ½ an inch of headroom, but if I had to be here, I could. But it's mainly for smaller kids if you need that extra seating. And then from here, we can recline the seat and slide it into its position, where I have a lot more space as you would expect. There's storage pockets. You have vents, auxiliaries, heated and ventilated captain's chairs, and then fan speed, temperature, where you'd like the air to go. Now in the center console, you have some storage down below, 2 cup holders. You get a deep center armrest area there, and then there's some lights on the side with the grab handles. And then as we work our way up front, this has all the window controls, side mirror adjustments, more storage, and the same design as you saw in back, and of course the same seats. They are automatic for up front. Now as we start this up, we're greeted with this leather steering wheel. Paddle shifters are on the back side. There's cruise control settings. This has an automatic steering wheel to make those adjustments. And then there's volume, tuning, Bluetooth voice commands, and an info button too. Now there's not a lot to scroll through, but over on that right side, you can go through a few settings. The rest of the gauge cluster is going to be fixed. So you have a little bit there that you can view. Memory seating adjustments are located to the left of the steering wheel with the liftgate release. You can mute some of the safety tech features if you'd like. There's parking sensors, traction control, and the engine start stop. Now there's one air vent. This does get a head-up display, so it's showing miles per hour, and it will show you some of your cruise control settings too. And then with the infotainment system, it is not a touchscreen system for all of the Mazda information. If you pair your phone for the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you can use it as a touchscreen as long as you are in park. So for a majority of the screen info, you will be using the controls down below. So you can get into some of this information here. There's also entertainment for all of your music. You can also get into communication for your phone. There's navigation, and then a lot of settings here to scroll through as needed. So just depending on how you want to set this vehicle up, you can get into a lot of the system settings. You have safety settings, vehicle settings too. So your doors, interior, exterior lighting, your rain sensing wiper blades, things like that you can quickly monitor. And then, like I said, there's other shortcuts down below to further get through all that info. There's volume tuning, even a favorites button, and then auto hold and the e-brake. You get more of that neat texturized material with vents. You get heated and ventilated seats up front, heated steering wheel, and then there's temperatures, climate adjustments for your fan speed, where you'd like the air to go. You can even adjust the rears from up front too. There's wireless charging with an auxiliary. You get 2 cup holders, and then 3 driving modes. It will actually change the gauge cluster color too, depending on the mode, which is neat. This is how you put it into reverse, where you do have to use the rotary dial down below to go through the different angles. Put it into drive, and now we can do the same thing. Now, if the camera doesn't pop up for some reason, you do have a shortcut right here, so you can even use that in park as well. There's a downhill assist, and then you have a split design for the armrest with 2 auxiliaries, plenty of room in the glove box, garage door buttons up top, dome lights, the sunroof and sunshade, and then a sunglass holder too. And then here's a look at visibility. It's been pretty easy to see over the last couple of days of driving this. So for a 3-row SUV, it's actually really good. And in sport mode second gear, here we go. And definitely has a good bit of power. I like the throttle response that this has, especially in sport mode. You can also go to normal mode, of course, put it back into normal drive. It will change the gauge cluster there, and you won't have quite as much throttle response, but it will still get up and move as you would expect. So this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the CX90. For being a 3-row SUV too, you don't sit very high up. So again, it's not a big 3-row. You sit just like every other SUV for the most part for this sizing in its class. So really nice seating position up front and a super comfortable daily driver. You could go on long road trips with this. You can pack it full of items. This is a vehicle that you can just rack up the miles on and be very comfortable. There's not a lot of road noise or wind noise. It's very nice to drive out on the highway and very easy to see too. So I think it's a really good option if you're not looking for a million different settings. You have a good bit you can go through within the screen. Lots of physical buttons that are all the important ones, which is nice. And then you just get used to using this dial down below to go through the information. You have voice commands too that you can use as needed. So simple, but it gives you everything to make this a great daily driver with the tech features that it has and just the simplicity overall. For a new vehicle in today's world, I think it's a really good combination of the two. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2026 Mazda CX-90 Turbo. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.